So I say that to say, yeah, you were telling me essentially like you should end it because again, he told me we can't get married. He didn't end our dealings with one another. So that's the 31st slash first. Then on the third, so you tell me that, and then I remember telling you like, gosh, this is so embarrassing. But I was like, but he said he was gonna buy me a laptop. So like, apparently my soul was worth a laptop, you guys. And I got the laptop. I stayed around to get the laptop, y'all. You can post a screenshot of it's November 3rd, and yeah, I get the laptop or whatever. And he can like sense I'm like kind of like weird now, kind of off a little bit, but yeah. At that point, I felt like it was reparations. I felt like, gosh dang it, I'm leaving here with something. I'm getting out of here with something. And if it ain't much, it's gonna be that laptop. So, so yeah, so I get the laptop, and then November 4th, I think Christian is about to have a procedure. So I reach out to him and I'm asking, you know, like, or just letting him know, praying everything goes well with Christian. And like, of course he does, like you would expect maybe him to be like, oh, thank you. Like, you know, we're praying, but he sends me a picture of like a kid eating a watermelon, AKA like, you know, yeah. And tells me like he was just thinking about me. So great. So after that, I sent him this text message. Yeah. Can you pull up the text message where the end of it I'm saying best timing, this is my soul we're dealing with. I need some time and space. Because that's when I break up with him. Like that's when I'm like, y'all, I'm sorry. This little thing with my hair is probably going to send me into oblivion. What's the watermelon analogy? Child, that means eating somebody's. Please, we're all grown here. Golly. So yeah, you guys, everybody grow up. Gosh, close the doors. Close the door.
Close them doors.
Close the doors.
Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors.
Now, so this is the message that I sent him. I tell him that I can't, like, in the beginning, I tell him, obviously, I respect what God said about you and Maggie and XYZ. And I tell him, like, this is my soul we're dealing with. I need time and space apart to heal for a while. I'm thankful for you, for everything. And I want nothing but happiness for you. So, like, this was cutting it off all the way. Like, not as even being intimate. Obviously, I can't get married to him. Like, whatever, right? So he tells me, I understand. I love you. I'm sorry for everything. It's all my fault. And then he's asking, can I see you today just for 5 minutes? If it's okay, I will come to you and will not take much of your time. And so I'm like literally telling him, like, if you love me, give me time. Like, so much is happening right now. And then I just ask him, like, why do you want to see me? Which, like, again, this is a toxic relationship.
You know,
so I knew what I was doing.
I think we had a conversation about this. Like, come on, you know what you did. Like, no, I didn't know what I did.
No, it wasn't me.
You know what you did.
No, for sure. This is a toxic relationship you guys are seeing playing out. And I think if anyone has ever been in one without Juju, like imagine if Juju was in it, please. So I don't know if Juju was done on me. Me, I don't know. I'm just saying, allegedly. But so yeah, I was like, okay, why do you want to see me? Just to talk, no pressure. Can I call you? You know, doesn't have to be FaceTime, whatever. So he calls me and I ask him straight up, did you lie? Like, was this all a game to you? This was all like manipulation and, you know, tactics and all the things or whatever. And he tells me that it wasn't manipulation. He tells me that he genuinely thought that him and I, or he thought that his heart for me could like move God's heart and would show God that it would be me. But he shouldn't have done that. He was like, I shouldn't have done that. I should have just listened to God in the first place instead of trying to like make things happen with you. So like, that's why he's like, that's my fault. That's what he said online. So I was like, this was never like, this was genuine. This was never a manipulation. And he was like, no, it was never that, which nope. Okay. Also there's a lot of like other events that happened as well. Like I met Drew for the first time. We went to dinner together. We're like, so before I met you, I met Drew. And to me, meeting someone's son is like, that's like a big deal. So that's also like leading into more of my, you know, more of the shock when I see
and
her in the house.
He wanted you to be the mom.
Jesus, please no.
And I'm just saying, because people don't understand, because people are like, how did you believe it? You this other woman in the picture, why you still there? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially, like, it's one thing. So in my head, like, Gigi and I had a conversation, and Gigi was upset with me because she was like, why didn't you tell me? You called me his wife. Why didn't you tell me? And I said, listen, this guy was married. Everybody's seen he was married, first of all. Okay? Now, I see you in LA with this guy. You come to the church, see some lady in the front seat who everybody's calling Mama Mags, the mother of the house. I think she had a ring on. Somebody had a ring on, okay? I don't know who had a ring on. And in my head, I'm thinking, you with it. Because remember, at this time of my life, I'm just living whatever. I believe whatever. I don't care. This is not now property. Oh, Pastor EJ, whatever. I'm
Praise
like,
God.
she's with it. You see what I'm saying? So if you with it, the last person that I was like close to and honest with, we don't talk anymore. And you see what I'm saying? I'm not trying to do that. Hey, you the wife? Sure. Glory to God. Like, I'm not guy code, right?
Glory to God is insane.
You see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
It's like, what made you think that you had a chance? Because the son thing was really, really, I think that's really important for you to voice.
Yeah. So, of course, we loved Joey's, didn't we? Man, we was paying Joey's bill. Joey's is a restaurant in Woodland Hills, guys. There's also one in Manhattan Beach. It's really good. You guys should check it out if you're in LA.
There's one downtown LA as well.
Yeah.
That was my...
Joey's man, what? We loved us some Joey's. So, we went there and he brings his son. And like, it's his date night. Like, I'm dressed really nice. He's dressed really nice. He brings his son. And this is the first time I meet him after we were like dating. So remember, I met Drew when we went to the house that first time, July 31st, because we went for the live stream with the other two girls, blah, blah, blah. His son was there. Great. But that didn't mean anything because I wasn't going to be stepmama or anything like that. Meeting him again when we get to like, I think maybe this was somewhere in September, October, obviously before November. I don't remember the day. But then I meet Drew for the first time and he's there at Joey's with us and like, we're ordering, we're laughing, I'm talking to him, like getting to know him. And I remember you told me that there were other women that had also met him and like that was also a tactic that was used. I don't remember who the women were. That he had brought his son to like meet when he would, I don't know their names, guys. Allegedly, I don't have receipts for that, but I'm learning that I wasn't a unique case is the point that I'm making. So
the public knowledge now, so.
Well, yeah. So that happened. And so obviously me meeting his son is like, you don't just introduce any woman to your kid, especially if you've gone through a divorce, like that's probably pretty traumatic for your child. And so you want to be smart with whoever is meeting your child. So to me, of course, we've already talked about marriage. We've talked about kids, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it's not time for us to have a kid, but this could be time for me to be a part of his kid's life and, be in his family and stuff like that. So yeah, that is why, meeting his son is important. I think that covers that part.
I mixed you. I think I mixed. Who said? Somebody told me that the son was like, yeah, I want you to be my mom, because that wasn't you.
That wasn't me.
Okay, it wasn't you. Okay, sorry, keep going.
I've heard that though.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I know that happened to someone, but yeah.
And that's the other thing too. Like, just anything that goes on at that place, it's everybody's business. Like once you're in the inner circle or whatever, there's no privacy. There's no keep this, don't tell. Everybody knows what's going on. Like, I don't want to say everyone knew about me per se, but they knew the character of their leader. They knew past things that had happened. They knew how certain things that are happening now got together. You know what I mean? So it's just a big covering up consistently of one person and there's the leader and you protect the leader at all costs. That's rhetoric he always says. I remember when, who was that guy that was Justin Bieber's pastor got exposed?
Carl Lenz, maybe?
That guy, right? Was it Carl Lenz that got exposed?
Yeah, but I don't think it was Bieber's. Oh, it was cool with Bieber. Yeah, Carl Lenz.
Something along those lines. And I remember when that happened, he was just like, his church should have protected him. The leaders should have protected him. They should have never, because they got rid of him. And he was like, we would never do that here. They would never allow that to happen. And it was those things. It was also when I asked him, like, how would that work with me? Oh my God. I asked, how would that work with me being mama? Like, would they accept me? Like, how? And he was like, the church will do whatever I tell them to do. Like, they're not going anywhere. They're not leaving. So it's very much like a like dictator mentality. Like, he is the ultimate authority. What Papa says goes. There are people there that get authority out of like overnight. You know what I mean? Like people that Benny, for example. I remember when Benny just came from Texas and like didn't want to even go up into the office, and I was like, come up here, like we can sit up here, and she would like sit in the lobby. But because he put his stamp of approval on her, even though she, you know, wasn't a part of anything, like didn't serve or whatever, then she is like who she is now because he said so, not because she was rightly dividing the word of truth or because she's like a strong evangelist and, you know, like regular reasons why pastors and people get hired at a church. No, it was because he said so. So that's also just like the idea of authority there. Yeah. So that happens. We break up or whatever. And after that, I start to crash out a little bit. And I start posting on social media. Like, it's all lies. But like, I'm still protecting. Like, because remember, it's, you know, me, EJ, Marvin, and Shayla, we're putting all these things together now. And we're like, whoa, like, okay, this is some juju stuff going on. He is a cheat. And then, you know, they were around a little bit, or they knew people who were around earlier. So they were given some information about like earlier days, like everything was just starting to, you know, come together. So I started posting those sorts of things. And then, I don't think we don't talk for a while until about, what is this, November 17th, his birthday. Our birthdays are 2 days apart. So somewhere, maybe 16, 17, somewhere in that time.
Okay.
Please.
Keep going.
Somewhere along those lines, he messages me. He reaches out to me. He comes to the house. He comes to where I live, and he brings me a present. This gold iPhone, which, yeah, you can also see there. And he was like on live. He ends the live stream. I missed him so bad, you guys. Oh my God, I missed him so much. Like, was fiending. He even told me, like, be careful dealing with me, like you're gonna get addicted. And I was like, nah, like, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get addicted to me. I was fiending to see my man. Oh my gosh. Fiending. Bad. Yeah. So that's the phone he gives me. And so I finally see him. He pulls up in the car and he's just like, hey, I have something for you. Like, how have you been? Da 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 da. And I like try to keep it short. I'm like, I've been fine. Like, whatever. And he's like, well, he ends the live stream. Once I say, yeah, you can come, literally ends the live stream, buses it all the way down to Long Beach. So shout out to him, because that's not an easy drive. I was doing it. Anyways, gives me the phone. I go upstairs and I crash out. I just cry my eyes out. I can't. I just have no, yeah. I was just really sad. And I don't even know why I started crying. I was just crying. I missed him, but I was also really hurt by him. But I also wanted to make sure he was okay because he's going through a lot. But I also hated him because he lied to me. So it's just like a whirlwind of emotions consistently. And yeah, that kind of happens. And then what else happens? Oh yeah, my birthday happens. Maggie wishes me happy birthday. I'm like mad. Why is she talking to me? But it's like, she doesn't know you're smashing her man, girl. Like, God forbid she said happy birthday to her spiritual daughter. But I crashed out. And yeah. So after my birthday, a lot of stuff happens. I'm just going to like try to crunch it so we can, you know. After my birthday, my aunt has a stroke. And it's like a very crazy, traumatic time for us. I reach out to him again because at the end of the day, he's still my spiritual father in my mind. And so I ask him to pray for her and just like keep her in his thoughts. And later on, he calls me and we were on FaceTime and we haven't talked much. I just reached out to him once she talked about you often. Ooh. Anyways. And I reach out to him, and he's like, I'm always here for you. No man is an island, blah, blah, blah. He calls me and he just starts, like, he's crying. And he's just like, I miss you. I can't believe all this is happening. He was like, people are talking now. So this is the other crazy part. So emotionally, November 17th, November 25th is his birthday. Sorry, I'm thinking of, our birthdays are on the same day, but 7 days apart. Like, if my birthday's a Tuesday, his birthday's the next Tuesday. Sorry, guys. That's what I meant. Forgive me. But he saw me right before my birthday. There we go. Sorry, guys. Anyways, that's not the point. So that's happening, and my aunt has a stroke, and I reach out to him, and then he calls me, and he's just like, a lot of people in the church are, starting to talk about what happened. What I didn't know on the back end is that I confided in Marvin and Shayla. You confided in Marvin and Shayla about me. And Marvin and Shayla confided in others being the church. So during this time, obviously I'm dealing with my own problems. And then my aunt has a stroke. And then I find out this church knows that I'm the other woman. I'm the mystery, whatever. And they start, asking for their money back. They start saying he is a liar, he is a wizard. They start going crazy. They start accusing, like, the things that I have that their church money bought. And during this time, all the live streams, whenever he's like mad at someone, you'll always hear it, like, but this one, now they're saying I do juju. Huh? Okay, they're saying I can bewitch 5,000. Really? Do you think all 5,000 of you are bewitched? Sorry, quick moment. Do we not remember Simon the Sorcerer, Acts 8, where everybody there thought that he was a man of God, but he was literally a magician? Like, yeah, you can bewitch a ton of people. Bible.
You know what's crazy when you say that is that there are a lot of friendships that I didn't have or connections I never made because he was, this person said I'm a witch, and now you got to ride for your friend, right? You got to ride for him. I remember, like, Stephanie Ike. I was like, man, she's good. Like, she'd be preaching, And I remember he was like, Stephanie, she came to the house. She called me a warlock. That's the first time I ever heard anybody, even that word warlock. Like, he was like, she called me a warlock. I'm like, trying to see what warlock is. And I'm like, and then I'm like, okay, well, we ain't talking to Stephanie then. Shoot. Like, that's that.
So that's how I felt. That's how I felt about Jackie Hill Perry. Like, when she was saying what she was saying, speaking the truth, and he didn't like her, I said, I can't stand Jackie always talking about my man. But
that was like that was 2023.
Yeah, I still knew him in 2020.
You told me y'all stopped talking like 2021, 2022.
He went over this last live. He lied. He lied. He lied.
I'll tell you a funny story about the Jackie Hill Perry thing. When I watched the video she posted, I was upset. I was heated. I was crashing out. And then I remember in the comments, Naomi Rain commented and said, say their names, sis, or something like that. And I was like, you know how I be screenshotting stuff. I'm like, so when I see y'all, open this thing so we can talk about it. You know what I mean? So I like screenshot it.
One or two things.
And then I'm upset. I'm like, bruh, I go to Lagos. I have this event called Night of Grace. We had a few thousand people show up for it. We're at the same hotel. The event is at the same hotel where they're at, like Maverick City, or I don't know if Chandler Moore was there, but now
yeah.
I'm like, I see her. She's saying hi to everybody, and she walks by me, and I just like,
ooh, was riding for that man.
I'm like looking at her dead in the face. Like, and by the way, by this time I'm having this Night of Grace event, Lovie and I already have like this. I'm already starting to find out that everything I thought from the beginning, from when, we were cool at the first time, was true. Like, that was really witchcraft. Like, at this point, I have gone to Ghana. I'm starting to question things. Later that evening, he'll go on to tell me that, when he has his revelation nights that he consults, he said this to me, okay? That he consults like the spirits in the air, which obviously are principalities, right? So that evening I was like, oh my gosh. But earlier that morning I was like, I ain't talking to Naomi. Obviously I didn't, she didn't even care about me, but you know what I'm saying? In my head I'm like, she said hi, I didn't say hi back. Like, She don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how much we'll ride for this guy. Like, we'll hate
Man.
people. We'll hate
We
people
hated him.
because
Even if we weren't good with him. In 2023, Jenny Weaver had talked about, Tiffany Montgomery had posted something. Jenny Weaver reposted it. I follow Jenny Weaver. When I saw that, I was like, girl, heck no. Like, am I talking to him? No. Has he been really mean to me? Yes. But you don't get to talk about him. He's still a man of God. So what's wrong with serving? What's wrong with giving? Whoa! Like, yeah. I die for my.
yo, chill. Oh my gosh.
That's why for Glovis to talk about like, oh, were they always just here? Or were they like, nah, we rode for him. We have receipts of us riding for him. What are you talking about? Like, don't play. Literally, like, okay, sorry, my light is literally tweaking, you guys. But like, literally just getting rid of our own logic so that way we could believe him. Like, don't do that. I don't appreciate that. Okay, so yeah, around that time, my aunt has a stroke. My like personal life is in disarray. Obviously, I still don't have no money, and he offers to give me some money. So he gives me 3,000 Bamindas, as you guys like to call them. He gives me $3,000, and you know he tells me that everything always gets back to him because at the time he's still paying for me to go to the gym, and I confided in the person that was training us. I never said his name, but I just said, you know, finding out like some people are lying is like really hard. And I guess we went back and told Lovie. So, yeah. So So that, but you know what he said? God told me. God told me that you were talking about me. And I was like, what did he say? And he was just like, he said that you confided in some things about how you can't trust people anymore. People are not who they seem. And I'm like, oh my God. Obviously now I know somebody told him. But at the time I was like, golly. So even though all these things are happening in my mind, I'm realizing these things, I'm like, he's still a man of God. Like regardless of what's going on, God is still speaking to him. Like, what can you do? What can you say? So that happens. And then my cousin overhears that conversation. So the next morning, she's like, "Are you talking to that Lovie guy?" I was like, "Yeah, he called me." And it's late. It's like 2 a.m. And she's like, "Were y'all in a relationship?" And I was just tired of lying. I was like, "Yeah, we were." And her mom just had a stroke. So she cannot really like handle hearing something crazy like that. They tried to warn me about him. They said he was a warlock from the jump. I was just like, you guys just don't understand, but I still love you. And I actually ditched a family trip with them in order to do the prophetic school. So they really don't like this guy. And then she's just like, okay, like, tell me what happened. So I tell her what happened, thinking I could finally confide in somebody. Guess who was wrong? Me. So think about it. My man is crazy, but he's still helping me out, giving me money. But he's really not my man, but I think he's still my man. I still love him. I still am obsessed with him. I still think he's my spiritual authority. My aunt has a stroke. The church is talking about me. They find out I'm the girl. Now all of a sudden my cousin finds out and she crashes out on me the next day. The next day, she had asked me to get something for her, and I don't know where I was, but she thought I was with that man. And she punched me in my back. All my clothes fell over the balcony. We got into a big argument. She called me every name under the sun. Oh my God, it was so bad. So I don't have no money. My aunt had a stroke. My cousin punched me in the back.
You're crying.
Yeah. But he's not my man. The church is calling me a whore. Can you say that?
I didn't hear nothing. Keep going.
I'm sorry, YouTube. Oh. Okay.
I think you can't say HOE. I think WHORE.
Yeah, I feel like that was a little more classy.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. And even when she found out about,
I don't know.
even when she found out about him before the crash out happened, she was like, "Well, stay with him. Like, get that money, girl," because he had just given me $3,000. She was like, "Stay with him, girl. Get that money." Literally, like the next day, it was your money, right? It's my money, and I need it now. But sorry. I'm sorry. I actually had I actually did have like a breakdown. I was just
Lord have mercy. We must stay focused, brothers. We must.
Yeah, I had never felt so overwhelmed like in my life. I just don't know what's going on. I don't know what's reality, what's real, what's fake, who to trust. Like, I don't know anything. And so, unfortunately, I go back to my man. I'll go back to my man because when all else fails, go back to your man. Don't go back to your man if he's crazy. But I did. Don't do what I did. So it's one of those things where it's like everyone in the church is talking. At this time, he had to give $100,000 back to some people who had given money to the church, and that sort of thing was happening. And then people were going live. Remember, I don't know if we can talk about QP, Miss
QP, who is
I'll Queen,
Oh, the rapper. Yeah.
the rapper. So
He did a
she went
diss
live.
track.
She made a diss track. She was going crazy. People were talking, and that whole thing was just a mess. And so it was one of those things where it's like, okay, we're all going through something crazy. We either bond together and like get through it, or we just are like scattered. And so I went back and like just went through it. Like there are some people I know that have spoken out and have gone back. I get it because I did it. Like I was just like, it's just easier to be with him than to be facing the world alone is how I felt. And so, yeah, that's what I did. And so we kind of like we rekindled our relationship or whatever. We hadn't spent like one-on-one time yet or anything like that, but we just started talking more and more. And this is around the time that he got his first tattoo. I will show you guys a picture because I designed it. He's never had tattoos before, so I was like, oh, like I'll come with you and I'll help you design them. Ooh, just being a pick me, guys, doing anything and everything to be up under that man. Yeah, I know, I'm not proud, just being honest. Um, Here's this picture of, yeah, I'm there
Didn't you
walking.
draw like the first tattoos or something?
So what happened was he sent me some ideas of tattoos that he was like interested in getting. And then we had looked at a couple of artists. We had looked at one in San Francisco. And then he found one very close to where he lived at the time. And so we're there and he doesn't know, like, just doesn't know about tattoos. If you guys don't know, I have a lot of tattoos. So he just doesn't know about them. And he's like, you guys come up with it. And then I'll check it. So that's what we did. We came up with it. And I guess he liked it so much, he got it on both arms. So yeah. That's kind of, God told him to get these tattoos. No. He was actually scared to get tattoos, I think he like talked to Java about it before he did it. So, or Passion Java, not that Java. Or what's that thing's name? I don't remember. Some of us, I don't know, Java, whatever. So, so yeah, and that's how that happened. So I say all that to say, after that, I think, don't you guys reconcile a little bit as well? Like
Yeah,
we meet at the,
we went
should we talk about
to the mount what was it, Malibu Canyons?
yeah,
He
and
took
went to
me
that
in
special.
there to go pray, and he was like, like I went to his house super late at night. I was like, man, because my parents were like, what's up with you and Lovie? My mom says this, don't tell me you guys are not talking because of a girl. And I go, no, and I'm like, yeah. She's like, she's like, you know what? She's like, even if you guys are not gonna talk, like, don't fight over a girl. Like, just, I don't know how she knew. I don't know where that came from, but she said that. And she's like, even if you guys are not gonna talk, like, not over a girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. So to me, I was like, shoot. In my head, I just lied to my mom. I just told her it wasn't over a girl.
We would lie. We lie for that man.
Like, I was still trying to protect him, because I told my parents all these good things about him. Like, now I'm gonna tell them that whatever. And I was just like, oh my God, like, okay.
Yeah.
So I went back to the house, like, super late, and I don't know if Fabian or Derek opened the door. Somebody opened the door, and he and I kind of like talked things through, and I kind of was like, yeah, I thought he was doing like juju. It's like, yeah, I'm not. I'm pure and holy before the Lord. You know how he talks. And then, that I think that week he took me to, he was like, we need to go pray before the Lord. I sent him a message when I thought the thing was gonna blow over. I actually still have that message. I said, hey bro, like you gotta figure out what you're doing. And he told me, he said, I've made my life clean before the Lord. Man, I felt so like stupid because I felt like I was trying to look out for him. He's like, I've made my peace with the Lord. Whatever wants to happen. He says that to me in a text. I'm like, oh shoot, like he made his peace with God, So, and I just found out about all these other women, by the way. Like, and I found out about like obviously the Ghana trip. We're putting everything together. I'm like, this is not sounding Christian. And he never did the Sunday live streams. I did the Sunday live streams. And that morning when I hit him up, he got upset and he went live that Sunday. And he was like, that was that competition then where I'm
live at the same time.
And he goes live. He tells Claudius, set up the live. I'm going live right now. And I was like, wait, what? And I didn't understand it. And he preached about a message about dogs, right? If you follow another man, whatever, you're a dog. This is the spirit of the dog. Remember? So he had that whole thing that morning. Or whatever. So fast forward, we go to Malibu Canyon.
We meet at the Rock.
No, that was the second time actually. When you came. So I went in. We went down. Took me like this far place. It was like just rocks or whatever. So we kneel down. We're praying. He's like, dear Lord, like I don't pray. He prays the whole thing. He leads the prayer. Father Lord, anyway we've fallen short. Have mercy on us. We are human. But I'm thinking about it right now, like everything he was saying was like, it was all like, he was trying to make a point. It was manipulation. It was a manipulated
like out pious you, out like holy you, like show
exactly,
you.
like oh my gosh, like this is the holy guy. Like I'm at fault here. Like, Lord, we just come humbly before you today, and he's done. And I'm waiting to pray, but he says amen. So we're done, and we start going back. And I'm like, it's fini. So I'm like, we're going back. Like, I'm like, okay. And then the second time I think is when you come and you're like, wait, you guys are cool again? And I'm like, that's my ace.
That ace. So this is what happens. He tells me that we're going to go to a rock, but he tells me I can meet him at the house first. So I go to the house to meet him there, and he has like that whole archery thing set up, and he's like showing me, because remember we went to San Diego to get his, arching stuff. So he shows me what that looks like, and then he's like, I haven't seen you in a while, like you look good, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, okay, like, yeah, like kind of, I'm being fast or whatever. I'm being a hoochie. I'm like, yeah. So then he's like, okay, so like follow me and EJ. So I get in the car and I follow you guys. And that's when we go up to like Malibu Canyon, wherever the hill is and all that stuff. And it was just, when they talk about competition, it was so funny. So obviously I'm taller than both these guys, right? And so
context, we didn't know he was playing psychological games. And then we figured out that he was. So it was like, we're gonna like out psychology this guy. So he does this thing where he put his hands on your arms to like sun you, or he'll stand above you, or he'll like grab you. And that day I just wasn't having it. And I think I told you, I was like, watch. And then,
so that day EJ stands on a rock. And then Moby gets on the taller rock. And then they just start climbing rocks. And I'm just standing there like, what? Like,
we have a picture of that. I think there's a picture from the rock there.
No, not from that day though.
Oh, it was a different one. Okay, the rocks.
But y'all just kept going on the rocks. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then that's when he started talking about, I remember he talked about not being able to sleep with the deeper you get spiritually, the more boundaries you have to put on yourself. One of them was not being able to sleep with a woman when she's on her period. And he had said that was because the example when the woman touched Jesus's hem, it took power out from him. And if you sleep with a woman,
they told me that in Ghana. That's from Ghana, right? Just so I know you didn't catch this part, but they told me that in Ghana when he told me.
Yeah.
That wasn't no Bible scripture. That was Ghana.
Of course, it's not Bible, but I just remember him proving his piety, him proving his, just who he is over and over again with certain things like that. And after that, he's just like, well, looks like the group is back together. Like, so we were all cool. And then I remember I'm happy I got my ace back. Oh, I just wanted to, when you said that, remember when you said that? Got my ace back. I was like, this. Anyways, but at the same time, I'm like, got my man back. So everybody's happy, woo! And then that kind of leads us into 2021, and that's when everything is in shambles with my family, right? Like, I'm not talking to my family. They think I'm a whore. Obviously, church members think I'm a whore. And I'm not going to get to marry him. I'm not going to get to be the wife, but I can be the one he really loves. You know what I mean? Like, sure, she can be the figurehead, but I have his heart, you know? And like, that's how I go into 2021. New Year's Day, he comes over, we spend New Year's Day together, and, or that night of New Year. And that's when he tells me again, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he helped me get an Airbnb, and yeah. So then that leads us into the Ghana trip. Like, January 10th is like the Ghana Ghana trip. I guess now, I mean, of course, I could go back and forth with like more details about our relationship and things of that nature. And just, of course, like a lot of manipulation, a lot of things. At that time, I was no longer like this like confused little, I was still in delusion, but I felt like now I have, I don't know, like some power. Like now that he has me back, and like
You're in
after I forgave,
control.
yeah, obviously not, but like I'm believing I am. And like now that I have control, you know, like I'm calling the shots now. So there would be like going to the church, for example, when the church building was happening, everything like that. Like he would tell me, okay, you can come up, and I'm like helping with decisions, and like he's asking me, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? And whatever. And then you told me, I remember that this one time where me, you, and him were sitting in the back by the control booth, and we were watching the band play, and you were like, or he goes, Mommy Shay is beautiful, isn't she? And you're like, Daddy, this one, she's pretty. Oh, and then you go, you love her? And he's like, I do love her. And then you're like, this could be first lady. And I'm like, you're pumping my head with like, wow, like
I
I
apologize, by the way. I'm sorry.
It was insane.
So, that was my ace. That was my ace. That's it.
And I'm like, well, I could be the first lady, like da 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 da. And for example, we would be upstairs in what was going to be his office, and we would all be eating, and he would tell Fabian, for example, or not, I don't know if Fabian was there. Was it? It was an assistant, and huh?
Fabian was there at that time.
So I think maybe he had told Fabian like, go get Mommy Shay some water. She likes it with ice cubes in it. Da 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 da. And he was like, I know how you like your water. So it was like starting to give people power, or starting to show people that like I meant something, like I had some sort of, you know, at least in my mind, that's how it felt. And yeah, all that's happening with the church building. We're spending a lot of time together. We're working out together again. We go to like this place to do our rehab and stuff. I'm about to leave in February to go actually play, because I bet y'all like, dang girl, when did you finally go play? I went to go play in February. I also I think what's kind of important is the opening of the church. And oh wait, we forgot to talk about COVID.
Screenshots from COVID, because you know certain people had the Holy Ghost vaccine.
Jesus. So
Mama, put your mask down. We have the Holy Ghost vaccine.
Okay, well, okay, I'm gonna say this now. I got COVID.
What did I?
I got COVID. EJ got COVID. Who? EJ was staying somewhere where those people had COVID, and so EJ got COVID. And I was helping EJ with great grace, so I was hanging out with EJ. So then I got COVID. But let me show you. This is the instruction I was given in order to help with my COVID.
Pardon?
Hey, are you from Ghana?
Am I from Ghana? Ghana. Doesn't ring a bell.
Doesn't ring.
Ghana?
I don't know how you give someone an instruction and what to do, where to buy it, if you didn't need to do it and buy it. I don't know how that works.
This is allegedly, by the way. This is allegedly. Educational purposes only, you know.
This is December. Y'all, I had COVID on Christmas. Anyways, this is December 25th, 2020. If you would like to read, you can. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You gonna read it out loud?
Nah, we read it. We got it. We got it. We good. We're good.
Okay. All right. Well, long story short, this is what I am told, and this is, I just don't know how else to go about that. So if they want to say that they never had it, I don't have a screenshot of him saying he had it. I just have instructions from him on how to handle what he somehow knew how to handle without experiencing it. I don't know. And somehow you got it. Somehow I got it. We know what happened in that house from people that were in that house. I'm just trying not to say
They left it very low key. Everything was low key. You know, couldn't say nothing.
But when it comes out to, didn't you say something happened to the person that got the COVID breathed on them, right? Okay. So, okay. All right.
Oh, but yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's just okay. Yeah, that's just in Jax. That's actually awful.
Yeah.
That's just important to say, guys. And again, like, you see how lives are impacted by lies. That's the point. So people are mad about or whatever. Someone look at this. Like, you want to tell that person's mom someone shouldn't be exposed, or that person's daughter, pardon me, that that shouldn't be exposed. Like, I don't think that's fair to say. That's actually really sad. So yeah, that happened during Christmas, and I got skinny though because I couldn't eat, because I couldn't taste. So yeah, and of course, apparently he had gotten through to the doctor because he asked me, like, did you get through to the doctor? So he obviously knew what he was sending by experience. I don't think that's hard to come to a conclusion with. But I'm not saying he had it. I'm just trying to come to conclusions, y'all. Okay, so that happened. And then New Year, like I said, that's when, we kiki. At this point, guys, I'm full on kind of diabolical. I'm not even gonna hold you guys. Like, I get into it's obviously fight or flight sort of mode, kind of like protection mode, but it's like, okay, like, I'm back in, this is my guy, what now? And so, yeah, that's sort of how things happen. I'm at the church all the time now because they got the building, the church is open. I'm there, whatever, hanging out with him, and, EJ's going through his personal stuff, so trying to be a good friend for EJ.
Oh, okay.
And,
I remember.
when you're ready to tell your story, you can tell your story. I won't tell your story for you.
But I think I kind of shared that I was going through a break. I was talking to someone. I was going through a breakup. I was going through it, and then after that breakup, then I hung out with this girl in Miami, and she got pregnant. We hooked up one time.
We're not there yet.
Oh, we're not at that part yet. I keep my back.
March. We're still in January.
We're still in January. Oh, January. I'm going through the breakup. Yeah.
We're going through the breakup.
The breakup, because it wasn't official.
Ghana. January 10th. That happens. So you guys are cool, but you guys aren't close. So he tells me, obviously, not to tell you that he's going to Ghana. So he goes to Ghana. This is when, at this point, I guess everyone has seen I drank something, passed out, 11 angels are coming back with me. God, everyone will know God, everyone will know Jesus. This is going to be crazy. He tells me that they asked about me. I have his messages. He tells me that something with one of the prophets had spoken about me and said there's a lovely girl outside of your house that, oh, here it is. Oh, wait, let me cover his number. And imagine this, guys. I say this is important. I want to show you this because imagine we're talking about people that are supposed to be Christians, right? Remember, this all matters. This doesn't matter if they're just like regular people that don't claim Christ, but these people claim to be Christians. And so if a prophet, if an elder of God points something out to you that is obviously not right, you would expect for that person to, call you out or to say something, correcting, right? but he doesn't. So I told him, like, he should go out and see the sights. And this is, hold on, make sure you can. One of the prophets. So remember also EJ mentioned that there's like prophets that are there and, whatever, help them out and stuff like that. Yeah, that's definitely true. This is not, like I said, it's not a one-man army. This is like an entire thing. And one of them.
One second. I'm reading the comments. Can you just, this guy, help me answer this question. I mean, you probably don't know about this Sunday session, but I'm sorry. Was he sincere during that Sunday session when he was crying because of delivering people, saying, I cannot do this alone. God send more people. Was everything an act? My Lord, that's scary. Just knowing his personality, apparently he was crying one Sunday.
Yeah. Allegedly, yeah.
Now here's a joke. Here's a very, very dark joke. There's this family that left our church who, is close to him, who started to fight me. I told them about everything going on. They went and started this clergy abuse campaign or whatever. And now my question to them is, why are you guys not holding Lovey accountable? Why are you not holding Passion accountable? Why are you not holding your people accountable? You see what I'm saying? This seems very selective. Like, what's going on, right? And I think people are starting to see the truth, with this family. Maybe they're bewitched. Maybe God is I don't know what's going on. Maybe they're part of the problem. So I remember having this conversation because around that time, she sends me this video of Lovey like crying. I'd opened up to them a little bit, like, hey, something is off there. And she sent me that, and I go, he's acting. I have the text message. I said, this is his acting. This is not real. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
you guys forget, he's an entertainer by nature.
Yeah.
Like that. He's done little acting things. He's like, I don't know. Here's the thing. Someone is lying about Christ. You don't think they're going to lie about anything else? You don't think they're going to lie about emotions and feelings? And they're already, they're in front of you every single Thursday, Sunday live stream, lying. So what do you expect?
He went to South Africa. Here's another one. He went to South Africa and he told every man of God, if you went to a voodoo place, juju place, come out now so we can deliver you. So you have all these men of God, in quote, all these guys who went and sought after evil powers, dark powers, coming to the stage or coming to the front, surrendering, rolling over the anointing or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I have is good?
Yeah.
Remember when the church opened and he cried because he was so happy about the church opening?
Yeah.